I'd like to give a thanks to my spiritual sister Angela for sending this to me. Here we go. This is a YouTuber you need to go check out. Her name is Melanie King, and she's on point with a lot of stuff. But I knew this was gonna happen. Here's the blame game. Couldn't take responsibility for her own actions. Now she's blaming her ex-husband or husband about to be an ex-husband. Let's get it. Here we go. Here's the nonsense.
Harris and Doug Emhoff are reportedly separating, with Harris returning to California and Emhoff renting a $20,000 per month New York City apartment amid rumors of an alleged affair with a campaign staffer. Guys, the buttermilk is buttermilking. There is so much news that has been coming out about so many different people. I've been trying to keep up, but I finally wanted to hit on this story because, the collard green queen, we just can't let her go. I just can't let her go. But we know that, there's different reports of this coming out from reputable sources, and I'm going to give you more details. But we know that Doug Emhoff, which the media completely ignored, in his previous marriage, this is a fact, that he got his former nanny, and she was also a school aide or a teacher's aide at his children's school and was the nanny. Well, he had an affair with her and got her pregnant. This is what has been reported. No one knows where this child is. The nanny now lives somewhere in the Hamptons, and it's just a bizarre story. And the media just, of course, they ignored it because it didn't fit their narrative. But even if you've seen Kamala lately and how she's even looking at Doug, she has she's always had attitude, but it is far worse now. She, at Jimmy Carter's funeral, that's where you really saw how smug and arrogant she actually is. And just the look she was giving Obama and Trump. But let's get more into this story because the dots are starting to add up, especially when you see it in totality. If you guys aren't following me on X, the story about Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama having an affair, well, it really went viral when I talked about how she had her messages or her comments private. You couldn't make comments on her, so they were turned off on her Instagram. But now I followed her, so now, and I said this in the story that I can now make comments on it, but I covered that in a whole different video. But people are saying, Melanie, you're over the target now. You are directly over the target because I got hit with enemy fire, where they tried to community note me, right, about that whole thing. I put out several X posts. I don't know if they're tweets. I did several posts on X about this, and those were the ones that everyone was using and went viral. And now we actually hear about, people are saying, I've been hearing about this for a long time in DC. People who are reputable are saying, I've been hearing this. Everyone's been hearing this, even Meghan McCain, people on Megyn Kelly's show. This has been what has been talked about. So I brought to the surface and went deeper than the surface and was bringing receipts. And so they tried to community note me to a bunch of BS of just Jennifer Aniston denying it. So it must be false. And so you can tell that these bots have kind of tried to do this because nothing they point to disputes anything that I've said. Specifically, why Jennifer Aniston went on Jimmy Kimmel on the Obama's wedding anniversary to dispel these rumors in a magazine that had come out 9 weeks before. But for some reason, she decided to go on the show on their anniversary to talk about this when nobody cared. No one was talking about it. No one was checking for it. But her and Jimmy got messy, and they knew the date. Their team knew the date. At bare minimum, why did they disrespect the Obamas like that? They can't answer that question and all the other evidence that I've pulled up, but we'll get into that more later today. But let me show you this. Kamala's marriage on the rocks, and you'll never guess why. I think I have a good guess, because is she taking accountability for the loss of, her losing essentially the election? Is she taking a look in the mirror and trying to figure out why she blew through $2.5 billion and lost the campaign to a convicted felon? No, 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 no. It's nothing to do with her. It must be her husband. As always, accountability, or women like this, accountability is their kryptonite. So it says, the Obamas may not be alone in having a troubled marriage. According to an exclusive report, Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff's marriage is in turmoil. Why? It's not because she just realized he's Jewish. Nope, it's because she blames his personal scandals for her losing the presidency. Kamala Harris was all smiles and affection for her beloved second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, in the immediate aftermath of her crushing presidential election defeat, writes the Daily Mail. But now that President Donald Trump has been sworn into office, for sore loser Harris, it is now all about the blame game, and her target has flipped to her dead weight husband. As she weighs her political future, maybe a 2026 run for governor of California or another try for the nation's top job 2 years later, she has to consider whether Emhoff is an asset or a liability. One source exclusively told Daily Mail that plenty of blame to go around, that there's plenty of blame to go around as far as Kamala is concerned, and Doug has his share. Doug did Kamala no favors during the election. Frankly, he looked like a hypocritical ass. Ooh. After the bombshells that he had got his child's nanny pregnant while married to his first wife and assaulted his ex-girlfriend on the heels of his I Am Woman crusade. Despite their brave united front at the inauguration and at President Jimmy Carter's January 9th funeral, those close to the couple believe all is not hunky-dory between them. In October, the Daily Mail reported allegations from 3 witnesses claiming that Doug Emhoff once assaulted his ex-girlfriend. According to their account, Emhoff allegedly struck the woman in the face with such force that she spun around while waiting in a valet line late at night. The witnesses, all friends of the victim, referred to as Jane in the report, corroborated her story. The same outlet previously reported that Emhoff had an affair with his daughter's nanny while still married to his first wife. The report revealed that in May of 2012, Jane attended the prestigious Amphar Gala near Cannes, France, alongside Doug Emhoff, having received tickets from wealthy friends for the star-studded event. That night, however, a close friend of Jane's recalled receiving a distressing phone call from her. Jane sobbing in a cab was difficult to understand, but managed to say that her date hit her. The friend was unsure how to assist and was unable to reach Jane again after the call. Jane's friends also alleged that Emhoff told her their nanny had accused him of causing her a miscarriage. Oh, is that what happened to the baby? A claim he denied. Despite rejecting the allegations, Emhoff reportedly admitted to paying the nanny an $80,000 settlement and having her sign a non-disclosure agreement. According to these friends, Emhoff cut the trip short to return to Los Angeles for his daughter Ella's 13th birthday on May 29th. After that, they say he and Jane never saw each other again. The liberal media promptly stepped in to cover for Emhoff, giving little, if any, coverage to the story. MSNBC's Joe Scarborough gave Emhoff the opportunity to respond to the allegations, which Scarborough only subtly alluded to on air, and Emhoff promptly dismissed as tabloid stories. This is what they do. This is what they're trying to do with the whole Barack Obama and Jennifer Aniston thing. And tabloid stories that are meant to distract the campaign. It's pretty stupid for Kamala to blame her husband's personal scandals for her loss because the mainstream media took virtually no interest in them. The media did, however, give extensive coverage to a court finding Donald Trump liable for assault, even though his accuser E. Jean Carroll's story was clearly fabricated and copied almost exactly from a plot on Law and Order SVU. As for the Harris Imhoff marriage, insiders say that it's not going well behind the scenes. I see the signs that all is not hunky-dory in the Harris household, the source told the paper. It's not like she hasn't had men help further her political career before, but what does Doug do for her now? He ain't no Willie Brown, that's for sure. And with her returning to Los Angeles, neighbors are not happy about it. Kamala Harris's neighbors reveal the worst part of living next to the former VP as she returns to her LA home. And I'll just give you a couple snippets from this. I don't want this video to be too long. But it says, I'm embarrassed that she lives here. And I'm embarrassed that she represented the United States. Lewis, a real estate investor who lives near Harris, and said Tuesday, with rumors Harris may run for governor in 2026, he expressed frustration with the Democrats already in power. Karen Bass, Gavin Newsom, they've destroyed my state. Kamala Harris will do exactly the same. I'd rather she find another state to destroy, he said. Another was furious at how the vice president, along with husband Doug Imhoff, made things difficult for those trying to get in and out of the area. I don't care that she's back, except that they block off the road whenever she comes to town, another resident said. So there's more to it, but I just wanted to show that even people in California, her own neighbors in Brentwood, okay, this is where OJ.
The video ended right there. But as you can see, Kamala Harris, allegedly Kamala Harris and her husband and Barack Obama and his wife are ending it. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment what you think. But boy, thank you, Angela, for sending me this. This is juicy. Big Hawk, that Yonkers native, the host of Street Talk, bringing you more news and a little gossip. Sorry.